FOSS recently held a European Employment and Advice Fair in the Marshes, Dundalk. Representatives of European countries were on hand to discuss employment opportunities abroad, while local businesses and a CV clinic were also available for visitors. The Dundalk Democrat spoke to the North East Regional Director of FOSS to learn more.
This is an exhibition that has been involved with our European partners in relation to EURES, where we collectively try and promote job opportunities across the EU, and that, as you can see here this evening, we have representatives from a number of the European countries who are promoting the opportunities for jobs in their own countries, and are obviously hoping to engage with Irish people who may have the required skill sets and knowledge and competence to avail those opportunities if they wish.
I'm representing Hungary here, so this is organized by EURES, the European Employment Services. It's a network of the employment services of Europe, and it's basically about jobs, so working abroad in Europe. So right now, it's the basic situation is the same as in the whole Europe, so there are not many people in the health sector, so there are shortages there, so we would need more nurses, and doctors.
I'm here to find people who want to work in Belgium. So in Belgium we are looking for a lot of sectors like engineers, nurses, computer scientists, and etc. And so I'm here to find suitable people. But I think a big difficulty in Belgium is the language, because if the people don't speak Flemish, French or German, at the beginning it's a little bit complicated to find a job, but it's possible.
On top of that, our own local people are here with potential job opportunities in the North East region or in other parts of the country, and also about training opportunities that exist, and that we will be actively encouraging people to continue to engage with training.
We work on a website called borderpeople.info. It's one of 5 projects we work on at the minute, funded under Interreg 4A. Border People is a website designed for people who want to move across the border to live, work or study. We've lots of information on there for taxation, healthcare, access to services, and for people if they want to move across the border, as I say, to look for a job. We did a survey recently. We estimated that there were about 25,000 frontier workers on the island of Ireland, based on a study we carried out in the northwest between Derry and Letterkenny, and we extrapolated that information across the border. So there is quite a lot, and that's in the context of 800,000 people in Europe, that frontier workers, and France being the most prolific, more French are more likely to cross the border to work, to find work.
I think that there can be a gap in the knowledge that for people that there are services available for people, and even though people may be aware of FOSS generally and social welfare, they're not always necessarily quite clear about how to avail of opportunities. And one of the advantages of this is that we try to bring these advantages directly to people where they actually would come and socialise or shop. And we've been running these now in the North East region between Dundalk and Drogheda for the last couple of years, and we have found them to be very effective. What I would encourage people to do is that they can avail of the FOSS website, or they can approach us directly in our offices. We have a number of offices in Navan and Monaghan Town and Cavan Town and Dundalk and Drogheda. We have our partners in the local employment services, which are part of the partnerships, which provide a similar service for ourselves, and we work closely with them, and also with social welfare, who will direct them to ourselves, and we can advise them of the range of training programs and employment initiatives, as well as job opportunities that we have on offer to people. For many ways, we're trying to get people maybe to consider taking an opportunity, even though it may be not as good as they used to be, or maybe the pay wasn't as good as it used to be, because the environment has changed. But we would actively support it. It's very important to be engaged in employment, because it's easier to get a job from a job as opposed to finding yourself unemployed. Particularly if you're unemployed for a year or more, it becomes a bigger problem, as much for the individual as for the employers, because people's self-confidence begins to wane and their esteem is lost. If you can't avail of job opportunities, There are employment-based schemes like the work placement scheme, where you're engaging with employment, but only on the basis of getting your social welfare payment. Now, it is a big ask for people because they're not actually getting anything out of it from a remuneration point of view, but they are keeping their hand in and getting that experience and hoping then that they can avail of real job opportunities from the fact that they have been actively engaged in employment in recent times. So there are all those type of things we put in place.